say? Hello, hello, hello. It's time for another stream. Who would have thought? Hello, everyone. I hope you're doing well. I'm gonna turn the music down a smidge. Just a smidge, because it's a bit loud on my ear. So, without a lot of talking before it, let's switch over to the talking mode. Hello. Yeah. As it is, well, somewhat tradition by now on Tuesday, we're gonna do a chill stream. Because, goddamn, it's the middle of the week for me and I need to do something relaxing. But I reckon it's fine though. I reckon it's fine. Yeah, been a busy week recently, or not just recently, or not just week. What am I talking about? Yeah, been like a busy few weeks for me now. But also don't know. I don't think I've posted it yet on social media. I'll be moving soon, the next month, and right now I'm like busy doing everything with organizing stuff and seeing for when I get the keys. Need to get furniture and need to get help from people moving and such. Currently a bit busier than usual. That's why I've been like a bit quieter on like YouTube and social media as well. Because if I do have the time to relax a bit, or I have a bit of downtime, I just relax, honestly. Nothing is wrong with the calibration of my model though. Oh, yeah, this should be fine. Better. Yeah, I don't know. I kinda have to recalibrate it sometimes. Anyway, yeah, as I said, recently, stuff with moving and it's gotta be a bit busy the next couple weeks too. I hope by mid of February I'm like, I've done everything and we can go back to a more exciting stream. I don't know if exciting. There needs to be a bit of chill in the life. And I kinda like the thought of just having one chill stream every week. But it really depends. I don't have like a set theme for every stream. It's just kinda how I feel, honestly. It basically decided on the same day as I stream because I'm too indecisive to make plans in advance for myself. Yes. But hey, that's just how it is then. That's fine. And, but also read the title, I might be reading a bit today because I got myself, hold on a second, a few books. Recently, I acquired a few tale books from different cultures, including Japanese, Nordic, and Celtic. As of right now, I'm looking for more. And I might be reading a few excerpts. Is this the right word? I think it's the right word. Maybe a tale or two. I've not really looked through them that much because I only got them like 2 days ago. Oh, yesterday. Nonsense. 2 days ago was Sunday. They don't deliver anything on Sunday here. So, yeah. Might be reading a few tales later. Depending on like how I'm holding up at the end of the stream, you know, reacting and talking is so exhausting. I say this now, probably have like a sore throat in like 2 hours. I already do have actually a bit of a but I can't even talk really. But I do think, since like is there any more really interesting to talk about that's not like giving away the secrets of the universe? I don't really think so. And as of right now, I'm not allowed to talk about the secrets of the universe. It's like I'm contractually obligated as of right now. What am I talking about again? I really don't have an idea. I have a few videos prepared. And actually the first one... Ooh, good music. No, actually the first one is related to my Witcher playthrough right now. Because it's about the Wild Hunt. Although I think this is the Wild Hunt according to English mythology. I don't really know if there's like a difference to the Wild Hunt from Witcher. If this is like the same story or just the same name and different stories, I'm not really sure. I haven't watched this video yet. But yes, we're gonna start now. So I'm gonna switch over to the... If I find the button, I think that's the button. Wow. Hello. Death. That starts good. Death. Just gonna shush the music here for a second. later. Perhaps. Yeah. Death. Death and damnation.
Plague, war, death. These are what await the unwitting observer of the spectral riders who make up the Wild Hunt. If you've managed to escape to tell the tale, that is. Stories of the Wild Hunt appear all through Western and Northern Europe, each tale sporting its unique quirks. Sometimes the riders are heroes, devils, ghosts, or even elves. They're sometimes malevolent forces who abduct the innocent, or they're tricksters pulling the unsuspecting into their fold. And in some stories, they just piss off Geralt of Rivia. But one thing...
Is this intentional? No, okay, so, it's actually like a tale that's gone through different types of mythology as far as I understood it, like Western, Northern, and I guess even Eastern Europe. Although I know that Witcher is like Poland, so Poland is more Middle European than Eastern European. I'm not sure. Like this is, I think, how you lay it out really. It's, I don't know. It's Slavic. It's Slavic.
Remains constant. These Bachian huntsmen and their howling dogs take victims. So tonight, around our campfire, I have a story of one of the unlucky ones. A man who lived too brazen, too selfishly, and much too fast. And the story of his dogs, whose howls would come to mean only one thing: doom.
Okay. There's an interesting premise.
Thanks so much to Incogni for helping to keep people's personal data personal. At the turn of the 14th century, in the town of St. Germans, near the River Lyre, lived a jolly friar named Dando. He was a boisterous fellow, known for his booming laugh and quickness to forgive anyone who came to confession. For how could he judge others when he himself was a sinner? Because above all else, Dando loved to indulge. And while he was a heavy drinker and was often caught in a stupor off of sacramental wine, it was really food that was his true vice. He would only eat the highest quality meals.
I mean, I can get behind having good food and wanting to eat good food. Very relatable.
And in lean months, he might even dip into the church coffers to buy quality meat from neighboring towns. But truly, more often than not, Dando actually caught the game himself. For the priest was also an excellent huntsman. And drink always in hand, he would scour the countryside relentlessly for the most quality game. However, in the...
It kind of feels wrong that that a priest is also a hunter. Like, I don't... I mean, I'm pretty sure there's like priests, even in like the medieval times and so on, that were also hunted. But it just feels wrong, really.
Ecstasy of the chase, he was never one to pause and consider things like whose rabbit he caught or where his horses were trampling. He just rapturously followed his baying dogs. And since they had no respect for any kind of boundary, many gardens and cornfields were destroyed in the wild rush of his hunt. Meaning that what followed his hunting party was not only destruction, but many curses from the locals. Damn him! They would cry. And when something like that is said enough, sometimes the universe, or something more sinister, will listen. One Sunday morning, Dando's dogs caught a strong scent on the wind. As his hounds began to howl, excitement rose within the priest, and he stopped his religious preparations immediately. He then locked the church doors tight, ordered his horses to be saddled, and rounded up as many eager sports people as he could find. Oh yeah, the hunt was, quite literally, on. It was a resounding success. As the hours and drinks flew by, Dando and his riotous party caught all manner of game. Birds, rabbits, even a great stag, all fell to the priest and his ilk before the rise of the midday sun. Oh, it was exhilarating, but also exhausting work. Then, when Dando went for another swig of liquid refreshment, he'd found he'd already emptied his flask. So he halted his group in the middle of some misty moorlands and asked for a refill from his party. But to his dismay, they had already finished all the alcohol they had set out with. Though, in fact, most had been drunk by Dando himself. One way or another, the tipsy priest bellowed, I shall have a drink, even if I have to go to hell for it. And it was at that moment a shrouded hunter stepped into view from the edge of the mist. Dando eyed them warily,
But that's
not recognizing this hunter.
Shouldn't say as a priest, like I would even go to hell for
Stepped
it.
into
That's
view from the edge of the mist. Dando eyed them warily, not recognizing this hunter as any of his regular companions. Actually, had this hunter even set out with them when they'd started their day? Then suddenly, the mysterious rider drew a golden drinking horn from under their cloak and wordlessly offered it to Dando. Never one to turn down a drink, wherever it was from, he snatched the horn and proceeded to down the whole thing in a single chug, without even asking the rider their name. Rude. Dando
Quite
wiped his
rude.
mouth with the back of his hand and passed the drinking horn back to his new companion. Ooh, come to think of it, he'd actually never tasted a drink so sweet. With a measured laugh, Dando was about to ask the hunter where he'd found this veritable nectar of the gods. But before Dando could speak, he stopped cold. Wait a moment. Did the hunter have red skin? And were those horns under his cloak? My God, was this man taking the best game for himself?
Oh,
Now, to
no.
you or I, those first things, the red skin and horns, would have probably been the bits to have been most concerned about, right? Not to mention divine
Yeah.
ambrosia, in trade for a few rabbits, seemed like more than a fair bargain. But the thing about Dando is his greed ran deep. He began to protest. That game was his! Who did this deformed rider think he was? But those screams fell upon deaf ears, as the hunter simply secured the bounty to his horse and mounted up. This disrespect was just too great. So Dando, in a drunken rage, rolled from his horse and charged clumsily at the hunter. But with a startlingly nimble move, the rider turned his black horse aside, and Dando fell face first into the muddy ground. This, of course, only proved to anger the priest further, who screamed in rage. Aided by his attendants, Dando was quickly brought back to his feet. I'd go to hell after them, but I'll get them from you, warned Dando, as he lurched forward again. And so you shall, growled the hunter, before seizing Dando by the collar, lifting him from the ground, and placing him easily on his horse behind him. In a flash, the rider's dark steed dashed away from the group, its hooves striking literal fire with every step, and Dando's dogs, barking furiously, following behind. Before long, the rider came to the bank of the liner, and it seemed sure that the hounds would catch them at the river's edge. Yet Dando had no chance to escape. Without breaking stride, the steed made an incredible leap, far out over the water. But as it plummeted down, there was no splash. From the horse's flaming hooves, the water of the lake boiled away around the terrible steed. Other hunters of Dando's party who had followed the hounds had only a brief moment to see Dando's shocked face, as from the riverbed, each of his hunting dogs made the same incredible leap behind the hunter's horse. But the stillness of the water lasted only a split second. For as fast as it had cleared, the river came rushing back,
But the dogs
engulfing
jumped
the
in too.
horse, riders,
Okay.
and every one of the dogs that had dove in behind it. And as it so often goes in tales such as these, Dando and his dogs were never seen again. But sometimes, if you listen carefully, early on Sunday mornings, the baying of dogs can be heard on the moorlands, as if in eager pursuit of game. And those foolhardy enough to look have reported a ghostly horde, led by a devilish rider with a gold drinking horn. So perhaps Dando got what he wanted all along, and he's forever part of the eternal hunt, sweeping up other rash sinners in its wake. Or maybe he should have been more careful with what he wished for. Maybe Dando isn't a rider at all, and his soul has been swept away, with his dogs forever chasing the rider to find him. But whatever the
So basically, like one part of the story or one version of the story is basically saying this quote unquote zealous man, this priest, basically made a pact with a devilish creature, a demon, for some wine, and now he's like, okay, guess I'll join you. Sure. Great.
outcome. If you happen to hear barking across the misty English countryside at a time where there probably shouldn't be any, maybe don't go investigating. Because if you do, Dando's dogs might lead you to a similar fate. And, speaking of deals with devils, seems like every day there's another article about a new data breach at a company that definitely has all of my information.
Yeah, data breaches. Yeah. Not gonna comment on this kind of stuff. But yeah, it's an interesting tale. Anywho. So I didn't know this version of the Wild Hunt. So I wasn't that familiar with the tale of the Wild Hunt in general. I only knew it really from The Witcher. Gotta be honest here. It's still very, very cool. So, and especially the fact that there's a tale for it in many European cultures, there are always connection between between the different cultures, the different mythologies, you could even say. That you have the same thing, maybe under a different name, maybe even under the same name sometimes. That does the same thing or is very similar. This can happen with gods. This can happen with with something like the Wild Hunt. I did not know that. I thought this was an exclusively Slavic thing because of The Witcher. Never really looked into it. Actually, quite cool. I wonder if there are more versions of this. This was the English version, basically. But is there like a Norse version too? Is there, well, Celtic? I think it's the wrong time period for Celtic, but maybe further down south, like in France, maybe Spain or Italy. I'm not aware of this tale around the German speaking world, maybe North Germany. But yeah, it'd actually be quite interesting to, not gonna lie. But anyway, that was just the first of a few. And now we're gonna continue with the Kushisaki on Kushisaki Onna. I cannot really pronounce it. I have heard of her. I think this isn't this the Japanese demonic lady that's like has her, like, the corners of her mouth cut open? Isn't this her or is this someone else? I know the Yuki Onna, which is basically like the snow woman. What's the Kuchisaki Onna, like the one with the cut, like, mouth corners? A bit like the Joker, but more cut.
Of a night like this, it's easy to find monsters. For at the edges of light, where the shadows dance, that's where the unexplained live. And in Japan, they call these supernatural entities yokai. But sometimes, it's not the ones in the dark that you need to worry about. Sometimes, the very worst walk with us in the day. Creatures like the Kuchisaki Onna, the slit-faced woman who ambushes children, asking one question. Do you think I'm pretty?
Beautiful? Yeah, beautiful. Yeah. And as far as I'm aware, like, you have to do something very specific.
Thanks so much
to
to Factor for showing us that great tasting,
basically
fast,
win
and fresh
against
meals
her and
delivered to your
not
door
get
are no
mutilated
myth.
or killed.
While the other children cheered at the soft chime of the 3 p.m. school bell, young Ren was silent. Sure, he wanted to be excited. He wanted to go home and play his new Super Nintendo. But first, he'd have to brave the long, lonely walk home. And that meant he'd have to elude the Kuchisaki Onna. Now, usually, Ren had his older brother to protect him on the walk home. But not today. He was homesick, and he was all alone. And she preyed on the lone children. But he couldn't put off the journey any longer. The walk home started easily enough, with Ren knowing that an adult was just a shout away. For added comfort, he popped a hard candy into his mouth, savoring the sweetness. Even though every street seemed to be empty, Ren was taking no chances. He clutched his bag to his chest and peered down every road, long and hard, before he took it. He also tried to avoid bus shelters, trees, or really anywhere she could be hiding. Now, no one really knows where the Kuchisaki Onna came from or why it was she targeted children. Not to mention these stories from his classmates across.
Honestly, the stories I've heard about the Kuchisaki Onna, I don't remember that she specifically targets children. So this is news to me. But apparently, maybe I forgot the detail. Entirely possible.
Across the playground all varied, each more gruesome than the last. May said that the Kuchisaki Onna was an old spirit who had been married to a samurai. The samurai fought in many wars, and so the woman was lonely. She said that when the samurai came home and found another man in his bed, he was so enraged that he cut Kuchisaki Onna from ear to ear, and now she lived on as a vengeful spirit ever since. Rena thought that was nonsense. It wasn't the samurai who cut her up. It was actually another woman. A woman that got so jealous of the beauty of Kuchisaki Onna
That's
that
the
she
version
just
I know.
sliced her face so she could never be pretty again. But Shota told everyone that the Kuchisaki Onna was actually a young spirit, and that the cuts on her face weren't from an attacker, but from a surgery gone wrong. Of course, Shota knew this for sure because his friend over in Chiba said that he knew a dentist who told
Oh god, oh my god, it's Stream himself. I'm so blessed to be able to watch one of your lives. Hello, Panda, welcome. Yes, it's me, I am Stream. God, this is such a stupid typo. How are you doing, Panda?
him that she actually had teeth going all the way back into her throat. Gah. Ren, however, didn't really care how she came to be. He was more concerned with where she would be right now. And walking home alone, every shadow seemed twice as long. And after what felt like an eternity, he finally came to the home stretch. Literally, there was his house in the distance, and his mother's in the window. Oh, he began to sprint towards home, relaxing a little. Oh, that was a rookie mistake. Suddenly, a figure.
Yeah, rookie mistake. How dare you to relax? Tired long work shift. How are you doing? Well, today was, compared to the last few days, was a bit more relaxed. Although I'm a bit stressed about moving right now because the date comes closer and closer with every day. I like get the keys on Friday already and probably like do most of the moving stuff the next couple of weekends. So yeah, I'm a bit. I'm honestly I really look forward to the new apartment I get, but I'm so glad when this is over. Moving is so stressful. I really do. You can do it. Thank you. I'm sure. I'll probably not die. That would be like quite a sad way to go. No, I'm just. I'm really trying to figure out how to handle this with all the streams because I don't really wanna like cut the stream or like want to, what's the word again? I don't want to miss a stream or anything. So, but probably not avoidable depending on how exhausting it will be. But yeah, I'm sure it will be fine. I'll get there somehow.
Stepped out from behind a tall bush, though Ren was so caught up in getting home that he didn't even notice at first. Maybe it was because she just looked so normal? She dressed stylishly, in a long red coat and leggings. Her silky black hair fell cleanly down her back, and her pale white skin looked radiant in the sun's evening glow. But when Ren's eyes fell upon the surgical mask she wore,
Okay, I don't have
he
the
knew
question.
it was too
Got
late.
it.
His eyes locked with the Kuchisaki Ona's, her jet black stare following intently as he tried to run frantically past her, darting across the narrow street. But not looking where you're going is a danger in its own right, and Ren misjudged the curb and stumbled, body hurtling towards the pavement. His bag flew from his shoulder, and he closed his eyes, bracing for the inevitable crash, but it never came? Instead, he fell into soft, comforting arms. It was his mother! Oh, he clutched her tightly and began to cry in her arms. But then, his logic and survival instinct kicked in. He needed to warn his mother about the otherworldly monster that was close behind him. So reluctantly, he pulled away from her and began to shout warnings to his mother, just screaming that the Kuchisaki Onna was real and right behind them and... Wait, what? The monstrous woman was nowhere to be seen. You believe me? Don't you, mother? Ren begged, but her reply was like ice in his veins.
Do you think I'm pretty?
How could he have been so foolish? Ren knew how fast she was. He heard she could outspeed a car. And if that was real, how many other of the grisly rumors were true? Wait, hold on. Didn't those same rumors also mention she had some sort of weakness?
Do you think I'm pretty?
The sing-song
Do you think I'm pretty?
voice repeated menacingly. He knew there were steps to this if he could just only remember. But by this point, fear had gripped his mind entirely. So he told her the only thing he could think of, the truth. Yes, I think you're pretty. And it wasn't a lie, exactly. She was beautiful from what he could see. The Kuchisaki Onna paused for a moment, perhaps considering his answer. If she was pleased, she didn't show it. But her body twitched ever so slightly, and that's when Ren caught a glint of something metal hidden behind her back. Then slowly, she reached up to her face and peeled down the surgical mask. Ren was horrified. Every rumor was true, and then some. Beneath the mask was a vicious wound. What looked like a jagged slash ran from ear to ear, permanently splitting her face into a mirthless facsimile of a grin. and it only got worse as she spoke.
Do you still think I'm
The gash across
Yes, very. Good lord. Gotta say, top to voice acting. Holy shit.
her face split open, the hole where her mouth should be extending ear to ear, revealing rows upon rows of unnaturally sharp teeth. And her eyes glinted, unfeeling, as she revealed what she'd been hiding behind her back. A bloodied
Scissors.
pair of scissors. Ren stammered. He quickly thought through his options. If he said no, he was probably dead on the spot. But if he agreed again, he'd heard she would cut his face to look like hers. Just the thought of that fate caused the candy in his mouth to lose all sweetness. Wait, that's it. He remembered the key to getting out of this alive and unscarred. And it was inside of his bag, just a few steps away.
I think
He offered slowly, each word keeping his attacker at bay as he circled around to his knapsack. Want some candy? With a dexterous hand, Ren grabbed some of his old-fashioned hard candies, Bekoame, and hurled them across the sidewalk. And although the timeless yokai can outrun a car, turned out she couldn't resist the sweet crunch of a Bekoame. The ghost bolted to the sweet treats with preternatural speed, and Ren turned and bolted towards home. He didn't look back, never witnessing her stopping to pick up each candy individually and force it wholesale into her gaping throat. But she did just that. In fact, Ren never saw the Kuchisake Onna again, but he never outgrew the fear of the slit-faced woman. To this day,
Oh, piece of candy. Oh, piece of candy. Okay, that was the way how you can basically defend yourself against the Kuchisake owner. I remember there was a way where. Why candy? I don't know.
he'll still avoid empty streets and flinch when something moves too fast in the corner of his eye. And he's not alone. Generation after generation would hear tales of Kuchisake Onna encounters in schoolyards and lunchrooms across Japan. Each story more brutal and terrifying than the last, ensnaring the mind of any child that hears her innocent-sounding question, "Do you think I'm pretty?" So, friends, this spooky season, please remember to stay vigilant, and maybe, just maybe, keep some of those hard candies on you. You know, just in case. But if you're running low on that, and like me have a fridge full of tasty Factor meals, maybe give one of them a go. I know, right? Factor is my favorite.
Can we
Maybe
just
give one
talk
of them a go.
about. Apparently, there's another way to stop there. Oh, I kind of want some salmon right now. Oh god. happy, happy Kuchisake owner here. Oh, Jam Hoffman, thank you very much for the follow. Welcome, welcome. Hope you like it here and enjoy your stay. And I hope the Kuchisake owners get you. Oh. Yeah, I'm sorry, I can't get over this image. It was deeply funny to me. Yo, hello. How are you doing? Okay, I have a few more videos to go. One more mythology one, and then a few more like memes. I want to watch a few old memes and just funny stuff I found. And yeah, how are you? I'm fine, really. I'm doing good. How are you doing? Everything good wherever you are. No meteors crashing down, as it happens all the time.
Let's play a game. Truth or dare. Actually, come to think of it, I can't hear you over the.
And now, I completely forget. Bloody Mary, the origin of the urban legend. So, Bloody Mary, as always, I'm just talking a bit about the stuff I know about it. So, Bloody Mary was the title, and I think it's connected to the Queen Mary of England. Wasn't she a daughter of King of this wife killing idiot king that Great Britain once had. Stream is always feeling their best because Stream is streaming through life. Yes, I am Stream, as usual. This is I don't know. Sometimes my mind just goes blank when I'm typing something, and then something like "I am Stream." Okay. Where was I? Yeah, Mary Queen of Scots or something was her other name, I think, or was this her sister? I can't really remember. And she was, I think, known for being quite brutal, similar to her father. And from that on, there was this urban myth created. If you stand in front of the mirror, judgment in British. Yeah, judgment in British is correct. Yeah, from that onwards, I don't know the connection to the urban myth that was created. If you need to stand in front of the mirror at midnight and say Bloody Mary 3 times. I don't know where this came from or how this is connected to her, or maybe this isn't connected to her at all and I misremember it. Entirely possible. So I guess we will find out. Have any of you ever done this like Bloody Mary thing in front of the mirror? I did. Nothing happened. Was kind of disappointed, really, because I summoned a pretty lady. Unfortunately, no pretty lady appeared. Nothing appeared in my bathroom. But I still do wonder. I'm always a bit curious about these myths that you have to do something at a specific time of day. Like, isn't time something we as humans invented or like gave it real title to? And what if there is like the switch from summer to winter time, and now the clock is 1 hour off? Do you have to do it at 11 p.m. or is it like, oh, now we changed the time. Like now it's summertime. Now I need to appear an hour later. Is that how it works? I'm not sure if, and unfortunately never had the opportunity to ask Bloody Mary herself. Ew, why she wanna see you in the stinky? That's why she didn't appear. Hey, I have you know, my bathroom is very clean. Yeah, it doesn't stink or anything. It's very clean. I do, in fact, clean my bathroom. I know it's a shocking revelation.
The internet, so let's just go dare. I dare you to go to the bathroom.
Clean
Wait,
but
that's not the
stinky.
whole dare, you weirdo.
Have you ever heard of air freshener and airing out the room? Just saying.
No, I dare you to go into the bathroom, close the door, and turn off all the lights. In the still darkness, I want you to stare into the mirror. Find with your eyes the deepest depths of your own reflection. And then when you're ready, say her name. Bloody Mary. Bloody Mary. Bloody Mary. You get the idea.
Yeah.
Now, some say you have to chant the name 13 times.
Stinky
so I
hidden
guess
by
if it doesn't
Smash.
work after 3, give it a couple more. But
What?
what happens next? Oh, you'll know it when you see it. Or feel it. A scratch running down your arm. Bruises spreading over your back. Maybe your hair will start to feel a little warm. Or maybe in the black.
My hair will start to feel warm. Well, that's oddly specific. I don't think my hair ever felt warm. I mean, maybe when I was like showering with hot water or something, but my head felt warm, not my hair.
Mirror, you'll see her. But how did she get there?
Well, obviously there was a horrible accident at the mirror factory and she got stuck in there.
Thanks so much to Factor for
Everybody
showing us
knows
that great tasting, fast, and fresh meals are no myth. The sun in the sky, the moon at night, rivers running over mountains. The mythology that grows around these things, around our world, is driven by desire for understanding. To know who we are and where we came from.
True.
Bloody Mary, on the other hand, that is a myth born out of pure fear. It's a story we tell because we don't really want to find out what would happen if we went into a dark bathroom and said her name 3 times into the mirror. Because whether we
not?
hear about Bloody Mary in high school, in a dorm room at night, or around a humble animated campfire, a lot of the stories end the same way. You know, I know someone who actually tried this and they died. But
No.
really, who is this woman?
That's very credible because you know they tried this because now they're dead. They told you before they died. Immediately after they did it, apparently.
Anyway, what's her whole deal? And how did she turn our bathrooms into her personal killing fields? Some say that before Bloody Mary was in our mirrors, she was a woman in the woods named Mary Worth.
Okay,
Stories
so
of
it's
Mary
not-
put her in New England in the 17th century.
Okay.
A single
It's not it's not Queen Mary. It's another English lady called Mary.
woman
Gotcha.
cultivating a
Beware of English ladies called Mary.
garden of strange and powerful herbs. Now, I know what you're thinking. New England? 1600s.
Oh wait, New England. Excuse me. New England. It's the Americas. Same thing. No, just kidding.
Woman in the woods. Are you already thinking witch? Well, that's about all the information the Puritans needed to suspect her as well. You see, in the literal witch hunting culture of that American moment in history, Mary Worth was a prime suspect.
Town
She lived
crier
alone,
tonight.
known only to her neighboring village as a purveyor of poultices and herbal medicine. Classic witch stuff, the villagers
How dare you?
thought, and so they kept their distance. But of course, when they fell ill or cut their leg in a broken fence, only the wettest, stinkiest herbs would do, and only Mary knew how to get them.
Yeah.
Until the girls went missing. Naturally, their parents went straight to the cabin of old Mary Worth, with the word old being key there. Because she was an older lady, as far as the villagers knew from their occasional nervous glimpses, but when they knocked on her door to ask about the missing girls, when Mary answered, she looked a little younger, a little rejuvenated. So even when Mary denied all
She drank their blood. The what how's the conspiracy theory? The adrenochrome or something?
knowledge of the girl's
She's dead.
whereabouts, the parents left her cabin still suspicious. How did she look so young? What were her skincare secrets? Well, they
Yeah,
feared
that's
they
the
knew the
important
answer.
question.
Draining the village daughters of their youthful essence and leaving them as lifeless, bloodless husks. It was the only logical conclusion after all.
Yes.
Ugh, but you know, without any
Logic.
proof. I mean, all the villagers could really do was drag Mary out of her cabin and burn her at the stake. So, you know, they started having a big talk about that. But turns out, even acting in irresponsible haste wasn't fast enough. For that night, as the villagers schemed and stoked each other's fears by sinister candlelight, one of their daughters sat up in bed with a start. A strange noise was whispering to her through the trees. Her mother was awake in the next room, treating a toothache with one of Mary's herbal remedies, and no doubt thinking about where she'd get her meds after they burned the pharmacist, but that mother didn't hear any kind of mysterious tree noise. Her daughter, however, couldn't get it out of her head, so she left the house and followed the sound into the dark forest. Now, when the mother saw her daughter leave the house toward the woods, she leapt up and shouted for her husband, who happened to be next door scheming and plotting Mary's death with all of his friends. And then together, the gang
Husband!
of panicked villagers
Not-
went
not the
after
name,
the
just
wandering
husband.
daughter. And they noticed she wasn't being drawn into the woods just by a noise, but by a light. A mysterious light, glowing beyond the trees, held in the suspiciously youthful hands of one Mary Worth. She was calling the girl towards the light. A witch! Oh, but this was more than witchcraft. This was retroactive justification for planning her murder. Ha ha! It was at this point that their
Like every
panic
witch
gave
hunt.
way to a sort of glee. The parents becoming a mob, grabbing whatever weapons were at hand. Pitchforks, shovels, etc. Seeing this, Mary stopped what she'd been doing with her mysterious light and made a break for it. But one of the villagers was packing heat. Heck, he always packed heat. A pistol loaded with silver bullets, just in case he ever needed to kill a witch. Now, are silver bullets necessary to kill a witch? He
No.
didn't know, but can never be too careful, I guess. He fired, caught her in the leg, and Mary tumbled to the ground. Then they trussed her up, tied her to a stake, and set her alight. It was all over. But not quite. For even as the flames licked her skin, she cursed the village with her last breaths. If the villagers, if their children, if their children's children ever said the name Mary, she would be there, and she would not be kind. So, by killing her, they transformed her from a mortal woman to a myth who would live forever, who would wreak vengeance without end upon the world. After the burning, the villagers claimed that they went over to Mary's cabin and found the bodies of the missing girls out back, buried in unmarked graves. So she really was a witch, right? Well, maybe. This didn't exactly seem like the kind of angry mob that would admit to a mistake. So
No,
maybe,
not
as
really.
Mary always maintained, she was totally innocent. The youthful appearance could have been herbal moisturizer. The light she held, possibly a torch, which she would logically bring out to the forest because she could hear a girl wandering alone at night.
True.
And if she was innocent, then that anger, that to this day animates Bloody Mary to unleash unholy violence from beyond the grave, well, it becomes a whole lot more understandable in my opinion. Which brings us back
Absolutely.
to the question, what will she do to you if you say her name? You might hear her scream. She might scour your skin with her long nails, maybe set your hair on fire, or break the mirror and slit your throat with the shard. Or perhaps she'll simply stand there, behind you, silently dripping with blood. And if you turn around to look her in her dead eyes, then she'll grab you by the hand and drag you back down to whatever dark dimension she now makes her home. Or maybe nothing will happen at all. It actually all depends on who's telling the story, and that can also depend on who told it to them. But these are all stories, you're saying. Folklore, oral history.
I like the fact, noticed this earlier, that he has a Bloody Mary drink next to him.
Urban myth with a
Nice
million
little-
variants. What's the truth, you ask?
Nice little
Well, my
detail.
friends, we're not dealing with truth right now. This was a dare after all. This is white-hot adrenaline pumping through an open vein of fear. You want to know what happens next, then only real way you can do it is to go look in that mirror in a dark bathroom and say her name. Because the only way to know the truth is to dare. And in the spirit of that, here we go again. Okay. Bloody Mary. Bloody Mary. Bloody Mary. Huh. It was nothing after all. That's a relief. You know, one of the things I'll miss.
Jesus! Okay. Okay, I'm awake now. Oh my god. Oh my god, I'm awake now. Oi, 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 oi. Bloody Mary, Bloody Mary, Bloody Mary. Bloody hell is probably also a good explanation. Oh. Usually I do like horror. Gotta be honest. What I don't like are jump scares. Oh my goodness gracious. Ah. Oh no.
Most about being alive is the ability to enjoy all of my factor meals that I still have in my fridge.
Okay, it's just not a Edward. Take my like. Oh my god. I can't believe I got jump scared by a mythology video. Oh my god. That has to be a new low. Oh no. Great. Okay. But I say, for now we have enough mythology. And I look for a bit of stuff I want to watch. And there is something I wanted to watch in a while ago again. And that's basically old memes and wines from like yesteryear. Something. I just kind of want to relish in the nostalgia a bit, and I hope you indulge me with it, because I mean, actually, I'm curious. Will memes eventually become a form of culture? Wines. Yeah. Red wines, white wines, wine, whining, everything. But Banner, do you not know wine? This was like TikTok before TikTok. Like, it was way ahead of its time. I only know like the compilations. A lot of the old memes came from there. It was more innocent. I don't know. I think there was a lot of nonsense there too. So it's basically TikTok for like Gen Z and millennials, you could say. That's what I grew up on. I'm not that old. I was on Vines. Yes, sure, Grandpa. I feel like I'm calling myself out here. Yeah, no, but we're gonna watch some Vines, because I really feel like I really want to watch a few Vines for the good old time's sake. And because it's like something that always gets me to laugh again.
What if my nose was while I'm Squidward?
Hi, I'm Renata Bliss, and I'm
Oh.
your freestyle dance teacher.
Yes! Yeah, that's how I dance too.
Road work ahead? Yeah, I sure,
I sure hope it does.
Hey, bro, can I get a sip of that water? It's not water. Vodka. I like your style. It's vinegar. What? It's vinegar. Pussy.
John,
Yeah, I also love to drink vinegar pure.
I want a divorce.
Divorce.
Okay, I didn't know that. Divorce.
It's not funny, John, and you know it's been coming for a long time. Why do you always laugh when I'm upset? I'm absolutely serious.
Acting is my passion.
Oh my god, I still haven't found my berries, but I found these.
Let's face it, we're stranded. Look! Blueberries!
Oh my god, where's my berries?
Oh.
You're all going to hell. Goodbye.
That's a vibe.
Wow.
Look at all those chickens! Guacamole. A good old times. Now, what did I turn into? Old memes. Welcome, Dane. Right now, we're watching some old memes for nostalgia's sake.
Money do you have? Like 69 cents. You know what that means. I don't have enough money for chicken nugget.
Hey, how you doing, little mama? Let me whisper in your ear. It's free real estate.
So on the plane crash, KTVU has
Oh,
just
no,
learned
not
the
this
names
one.
of the 4 pilots who were on board the flight. They are Captain Sum Ting Wong, Wee Tu Lo, Ho Lee Fook, and Bang Ding Ao.
If I do remember correctly, someone hacked like into the news outlet and changed the names of this. Or it was a completely made up story, either one of those. She just read it.
I want to be a cowboy, man. Johnny has 19 bottles of dish soap, and he gets Gina. Wait, why does Johnny have so many soaps? Mind your business, David!
Oh, that's music.
Hey, Ron. Hey,
Hey, buddy.
I just don't feel your love.
Sexy. What was that?
Remember, class, you can be anything you want. I want to be the president. Andrew, try a little bit smaller things.
Bitch, you said I could be anything I want.
Oh, I would.
That's true. Yeah,
too
that's
much
true.
to do tonight.
You know you've got that thing
Oh,
that
wow.
makes the girls all
I wish I would be only half as good as he was.
swing.
Yes. Yes, okay. No, it's about right for me, I guess.
Daddy? Do I look?
I do that.
I do that too. That actually reminds me, it's somewhere in Austria, I think like some salt mines where you also can do this. I remember when I was younger that we like went there on a school trip. There was something like this. I don't remember where exactly it was. I didn't scream like this.
What does that say, Anaya?
What?
What?
No!
What?
What? Little side tangent. As a German speaker myself, one thing I really, really struggled when I learned English. What? One thing I really, really struggled when I learned English is the word who. In German is wer. And the word where in German is wo, which is who without the H. And this was like, so if you ever see some German speaker who confuses who and where, that's the reason why. That you don't want to know the Danish one of that. Oh god. Danish is also like a Germanic one, but Hem. Hem. No, Heffen. Hem. I can't speak Danish. Heffen. Was that right? Oh, it's so good. Heffen. I mean, what I like the German words like Rindfleisch-Etikettierungs-Übertragungsaufgabenüberwachungsgesetz or something. Should I really like start like writing down the compound words in German that have like 30 plus letters and everybody's scared? I once heard actually like someone is scared by the German words because they're so long. German and Danish is way past each other, but I love both languages. Yeah. I mean, it's both. I mean, English is also a Germanic language. That doesn't sound like that Germanic to me. Many people don't even know it. The only other language besides German and English I can speak a bit is Dutch, which is basically like a weird mix of English and German with a few unique words mixed into it. Who and where in where? Which is where werewolves wear wool. Actually, I'm quite good at in where, which is where werewolves wear wool. Did you guys? There was like a trend. I think this was around last year about a German tongue twister, like Rhabarber Barbaras Rhabarberkuchen. I actually really love tongue twisters. I don't know that many in English, unfortunately. I only know like seashells on the seashore. Or Sally's. The song is a bop, yeah. I don't remember the lyrics anymore. Just like Abracadabra. Dieser Kuchen war geradezu bombastisch. Die Nachfrage danach erstarkte drastisch. The tongue twister is so sad. By the way, how did say correct once? Lol, just to answer from before. Yeah. Now I'm starting to actually. But actually did say, but it probably wasn't Heffen. It was probably like Hem or something. Lux cover. Honestly, Panda, I actually really do love singing, but I cannot sing for the sake of me. Lux cover when. Should I ever do like a karaoke stream and completely embarrass myself in front of everyone? Lux cover. Do you really want me to sing now? Excuse me, if you can do it. If I can do it, you can do it. That's fair enough. Maybe I'll do a karaoke stream soon. The next few weeks I don't have that much time to play anyway. Maybe it's like a good time. Oh god, it's gonna be so embarrassing. I don't even know if I announced it stream. Oh, I'm pretty sure Panda will be. I just wanna say ain't nothing but a I just wanna say ain't nothing but a heartbreak. Oh god. I mean I can like make funny voices. Like I can sound like this. Okay. But I cannot really sing. But if it will entertain you, I will consider making a karaoke stream and completely embarrass the ever loving shite out of me. That's me. Now that's basically me. That's me when I sing karaoke. Oh god, I love those rubber chickens. Oh god, this one.
Am I gay? No. Sorry, I love penis.
Have anyone
Valid.
ever tell you you look like Beyonce?
Nah, they usually tell me I look like Shalissa.
Who the fuck is that?
Me, nigga.
Get the F off my yard!
I really have a thing for like really dry humor like this. It's just so stupid. I love it. That's an F on my property. I'm gay. I have all the gangy tilts. You probably let me spell it on purpose because otherwise it would be blocked.
Hello. 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 Hello.
That kind of reminds me. It's a couple years ago. NPC moment. Yeah. Like, okay, hold on. That reminds me of something that actually happened to me. As some of you know, I do, besides being a tale-teller, I unfortunately this doesn't pay that much, so hello. Unfortunately, being a tale-teller doesn't pay that much, so I have to do another job on the side, besides streaming and tale-telling. And I work basically in like IT. And I once had, I don't know, was it a customer or was it a partner of ours? Basically, every time, literally every time this person was calling, doesn't matter if it was me or a colleague of mine or whatever, every goddamn time he picked up with the exact same line, with the exact same tone. Like, it could have been a voice recording. I wouldn't be surprised if it would be a voice recording. It's always like, hello, this is Bob, how you doing? Hello, this is Bob, how you doing? Hello, this is Bob, how you doing? Like, to a point, it became a meme in the office. Every time he was calling, it's Bob again. And at one point, we were really standing around one colleague who just saw that Bob was calling him, and we all stood around him, and he put it on speaker, and we all just waited. Hello, this is Bob speaking. Then he had to mute the mic because we all were cheering for it. Thankfully, he didn't notice, but god damn it.
Hello.
It's basically this. Probably this is Bob.
Hello.
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 You
Hello. Did he always wear the same pants, by the way?
Choo choo, motherfucker. It's your motherfucking bird.
Appropriate.
I'm just kidding.
Seja muito feliz com a escolha dela.
Wait. Oh yes, wait a minute, Mr. Postman.
This was my cover.
Boom dance.
I have to admit, when I was a wee little child, I was afraid, like I'm actually like horrified of the Teletubbies. Absolutely horrifying. And if I would have seen them twerk back then, it would be even worse. Like Teletubbies were some like horrific things to me. And it didn't help, like, in the schoolyard. What was it? Elementary school? I think it was elementary school. There was a rumor going around that someone tried to cut open his stomach because they thought there was a television inside because they saw it in the Teletubbies. And yes, I know it's probably a bit effed up for, like, elementary schoolers, but I never said I was normal.
You want to poke it?
They ask you how you are, you just have to say that you're fine when you're not really fine.
Oh, I'm eating a spleen chicken. So what? Can't you handle a bit of gore while eating? Actually, honestly, I'm sorry about if you're actually eating. This is also something I'm not aware of, or like I cannot really empathize with, because no matter what happens, if it's just like an explanation or something, or even most videos, I don't care. I can keep eating. It doesn't bother me. It needs to be like extremely graphic, horrific stuff that I really feel like, ugh, okay, now I've stopped eating. But that's like 1 in a million.
But you just can't get in.
If you go through as many tales and worlds as me, then you kind of get desensitized to this stuff.
To it because they...
Hello.
Hi.
Okay.
I play in a band.
Okay. Hi.
That's
Okay.
fun.
I was in a band.
Stop putting so much stuff on your lip.
YMCA.
Stop putting so much on. Stop.
And in here, 2
So
shots
sassy.
of vodka.
2
then
shots,
1
yes.
shot of melon liqueur.
Liqueur.
It is Wednesday, my dudes.
Get to Del Taco. They got a new thing called
Free Shavaka.
Free Shavakadu. Free Shav.
I'm not sad. I'm just cutting cucumbers.
Isn't that a zucchini?
Sausage. I'm saying I do not fucking like sausage.
You know what, dude? I'm out of here.
What did you do?
I shaved my eyebrows.
Why did you do that?
I don't know.
What the fuck? Is this allowed? What the fuck? Is that allowed?
That's so lewd. No, I cannot show this on stream.
No, yes.
The kid is traumatized for life. That pumpkin got decapitated. Fatality.
Stop! I could have dropped my croissant.
We're told to stay off roadways unless absolutely, positively necessary.
I want a donut. And they
Understandable. I personally prefer muffins, but donut is also a valid reason.
were roommates.
Oh my god, they were roommates.
I'm John Cena.
Now that is skill. I love croissant. Gonna finish the croissant.
Country boy, I love you.
I don't want to be cool anymore. Well, I guess I don't have a choice.
What the fuck, Richard?
Yeah, really, Richard. What the F?
Excuse me, you need to leave.
I am dyslexic. No, it was not because of like misspelling or anything. Don't you know that meme? Do you want to finish the croissant? Wait. Because I can't spell it either.
Any questions?
Yes. Are you going to finish that croissant?
Croissant?
Knock yourself out. Let me assure you that...
Oh my god, that reminds me of... Okay, wait, I have to show you something. I have to show you something. Oh my god. Okay, pause. I have to show you something. That reminds me of something. Don't you know Carl Weezer, the fat kid from Jimmy Neutron? He has like its own cover. This is so good.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, baby. All you luscious llamas out there blew up my comment section and my DMs talking about I need to do Rap God. Some of you llamas out there said I can't do it. Oh, Carl, it's too fast. You're not good enough for that. You sound just like Judy.
I love this. That's so amazing.
I got 0 dimes for you, pal. Let's get it. I'm beginning to feel like a rap god. All my people from the front to the back nod. Now who thinks their arms are long enough to slap box? They said I rap like a robot, so call me rap bot. For me to rap like a computer must be in my genes. I got a laptop in my back pocket. My pin will go off when I half cock. I get a fat knot from that rap rock. I made a living in a killing off it. Ever since Bill Clinton was stealing office with my
What the fuck is it?
Yo, cut the beat, Jimmy. This song is way too long, and I know what you guys are here for, so let's not waste any time. Listen real good, Judy. This is what you could have had. You were assuming I'm what I gotta do to get through. I'm assuming you were in a bit of an ever so this is because shit off of me. It'll go to you, I'm devastating what I ever do. Surely had a good motherfucking naughty. It's a feeling like it's levitated, never fading out that I hit it forever. Looking for the dead, I can say for me, set a burning cause I'm the way to get it motivated. I'm like elevating music, you make elevator music. Oh yeah, Judy. Oh y'all wanted to talk trash on Lil Weezy. It's time to put some respect on my name. Leave your suggestions in the comments down below. And don't forget to subscribe, you llama.
Oh, that's not even the most cursed one. That's the most cursed one. Have you watched Dump Cakes? No, I can't. I don't. But I have to turn this one down. I know this one. Because this gonna be a bit hard on the ears, maybe. I apologize. Oh no. Oh yeah. Why the torture, Lux? Because I have to. I cannot be the only one who suffers by knowing this. It's my level of singing. Going back to the Viking Age, I can't watch this. This could definitely count as some sort of like punishment of torturing. Should be against the Geneva Convention, I guess. Yeah, that's right. Geneva suggestions. It's absolutely the same thing. Oh, my cheeks actually hurt from laughing. It tuned out. Oh, actually, I feel kind of hot right now. I'm not laughing. It's over. We survived it. We're now strong. We cannot survive everything. I actually have tears in my eyes. God damn it. Give me a second. I like it when Toad. Like it went Toad on high notes. Yeah. Is there Toad cover for it? There actually is. There actually is. No, I've tortured you enough. I keep this in the back of my mind. I keep this in the back of my mind. I've tortured you enough. I've tortured you enough for one day. Instead, we watched the Waluigi cover. I think those are. Let's torture Lux. Watch dump cakes. Is this the? Well, I mean, dump cakes. I mean, I have no idea what this is, honestly. I have no idea what this is. I mean, if I don't even know if this is like the right video because it says only 812 views. Yeah, Panda, but send it to me via Discord if you can, because my chat prohibits links. But just switch over, or because I don't know on which screen my Discord opens. Yeah, but send me a link. Okay. Oh, the Djibouti dub ones. Oh my god, I know them. I know them. Yes. Yes, let's watch that.
Mom, do you love me?
What? No, no, no.
Hey, wanna try some of my big fat dumps?
That's so great.
Cups. I dumped out all of these desserts in a minute. First you take a dump, then you bake it, then you plop it on a scoop of ice cream. Peaches come in a bag now, but you didn't know that. But I'm gonna take a big old dump on top, then we could pour a little generic Canada Dry shit on there. Now it may not look that appetizing, but you just gotta dress it up.
Oh, sorry, haven't. Yeah, sorry. I reminded.
Mom, do you love me?
What?
Sorry.
No.
Hey, wanna try some of my big fat dumps? Fuck measuring cups. I dumped out all of these desserts in a minute. First you take a dump, then you bake it, then you plop it on a scoop of ice cream. Peaches come in a bag now, but you didn't know that. But I'm gonna take a big old dump on top, then we could pour a little generic Canada Dry shit on there. Now it may not look that appetizing.
Okay, but honestly, I'm not that well versed in baking. Like, I baked twice in my life. Once like a cake, once cookies. But what goddamn American thing is it that you put goddamn soda in a cake? Like, have you heard of milk? Like, you do not need to put soda in your cake. For the love of God, don't put soda in your cake. Like, what the actual fuck? It actually can taste good in some things. Yeah, might be, but it still is wrong. Like, just because you can doesn't mean you should. That's like... And I'm kind of concerned that you say this. It sounds like you have actually done this.
Coming through. Oh, back for more, huh? Yeah, I bet you want to try some of this dark dump. I'm gonna show you how to make it. Oh shit, it's already done. I'm gonna put some kisses and marshmallows in there and a little bucket of Oreos. I burnt the marshmallows a little bit, but don't tell nobody about that. Alright, now over here I squeezed out about 5 bottles of maple syrup and I put some peanut shells on top. Then I dumped 3 soft hockey pucks in there, flipped it upside down. Yep, woof, it smells like maple syrup. You ever take a dump in a mug?
You ever take a dump in a mug?
Dropping a pineapple
apple, sprinkle that dump dust, flip that shit upside down, put the cream on top, let it melt.
I used to shake and bake all the time, but it feels better just to take a dump, you know?
Think of all the dumps you could be taking if it wasn't for those kids. Step your dump game up today for just $10. I'm talking 5-store desserts.
5-store
I'm
desserts.
throwing dumps for dinners. That's right. If you could dump a cake.
Dump for dinners. Awesome.
I like mine with a lot of cheese. Now that's deep. I wore an extra tight bra so my titties don't plop into the pan again. All right, let's grab a box of pasta and dump a can of Prego because we're making babies tonight.
First thing I do when I get home is I take a big dump, and it's really sticky and gooey.
Buy my dumps today. I know you got $10. Ooh, that dump ain't it right. I think I'm gonna.
Okay, wait, hold on. There is like, oh god, what was it called? Oh god, what is? Yes. Yes. And I have another one. I have another one.
Oh shit, there it is. A glory hole right next to the settling cracks and the door dings. This calls for your secret weapon. You break out the marshmallow
kind of full
paste, but
screen?
it's not shutting down that hole. The penises are still flying in. Hey there, I'm Bo Riles, Glory Hole Virtuoso. If you're trying to shut down operations on a glory hole, look no further than the liquid drywall. Just spray our whipped cream on there and bingo bango bongo vanishes in seconds. The portal to the dick dimension may be closed, but those cherished memories of sucked wieners will live on within you forever. Our shaving cream requires no extra tools, no mess, no repairmen. Fuck this repair guy in particular. Give me that wall, bitch. Let me show you how the liquid drywall works. It takes that wall and it puts it in a can. This is wall in a can, motherfucker. It doesn't get more simple than that. Then you spray it on the wall and that wall leaves the can. Now that wall's on your wall. Gone are the days of playing with old Play-Doh. Gone are the days of painting cake frosting on your walls. Martha, you clumsy slut, you've banged the table into the wall. But luckily, thanks to the liquid drywall, we don't have to sell the house anymore. Thanks to the fast and easy repairs. Whoopsie, you got a little asshole on your wall? Butt plugged. No problem. I'm filling more holes than a male porn star today. Another one hiding behind the door? Not on my watch. What's that smell? Another one? Oh, goodness me, more holes than a block of cheese in this motherfucker. But luckily, there's no match for the liquid drywall. If your house is prone to glory holes, go ahead and install our boner barricade with the liquid drywall. No more worrying about rogue cocks popping in. Are your kids so dumb they fight over the broom and then hit the wall? Well, we can fix the wall, but we can't fix the bad parenting that led to this situation in the first place. There's billions of people on this planet. That's a lot of penises. Liquid drywall. You do the math.
This is so stupid. I gotta say, when I like watched cartoons or any American-based show, I was always so surprised that the slightest thing could break any wall, because where I grew up, like, everything was massive walls. If I tried this thing with a broom and tried to punch it into the wall, the broom handle would break. And at best, you managed to get a small dent into the wall. Like, there are those memes like American versus European walls. Through American's wall, you can punch through. If I punch against my wall here in my apartment, I break my goddamn hand. I don't know. Why is this so common in the Americas? You use brick, America is paper and air, yeah. Like, it's always kind of funny too if you hear people from the Americas say, "Oh no, this house is ancient; it's almost 100 years old," and we are sitting here with like houses that are like multiple 100 years old, multiple people died in there, generations through generations, and it's still holding strong. American houses are wood and plaster walls with padding. EU is almost always bricks. Yeah. So I know like there are a few like plaster walls or drywalls, but if they exist around here, they're only enough in newer office buildings, and they're always like never like walls that like hold anything up. That are just like room dividers, really, that were put up quick and dirty, really. And I think even those are more stable than the more common stuff in the US. I never been to the US though, so I cannot judge for myself. But if I ever am in the US, I'll be sure to punch a wall just to verify this. I probably get like the one wall of a guy that decided he built an actual like story house. But let's continue with this one.
Adam!
Adam!
Oh, hi. Thanks for checking in. I'm still a piece of garbage.
I spelled
Oh, Bill
lipstick in
works.
your Valentino bag.
Oh, you spill lipstick in my Valentino white.
Man, I love friendship. Almost as much as I love myself.
So basically, what I was thinking of was,
Fuck. I can't believe you've done this.
One of 500 birds that are being judged today at the show.
I mean, chicken can be terrifying if they start to jump on you, but I would never like run away like this. Like I take a step back or two, or like fling your hand out and you're fine.
Hi, welcome to Chili's.
Hey, I'm lesbian.
I thought you were American.
No comment.
Look, it's the good Kush.
This is the dollar store. How good can it be?
There is only one thing worse than a rapist. Boom.
A child.
Child. No.
What's up, shorties?
What did you say?
Why are you running?
Why
are you running?
Do you want to dance with me?
Go and fuck yourself.
Why won't anyone dance with me?
Because I want to fuck you.
How do you keep your pants up when you're...
It kind of reminds me. True story that actually happened like. Yeah, was it? No, it was actually yesterday. Okay, so yesterday when I was going home from work, I almost got into a fight by accident. Like, I was like at the bus stop, and there was like this very, very grumpy older guy that he was just yelling around and this is this and the youth today, and just being annoying, really. And then there was a drunkard. And the drunkard took very, very much offense to this, that this old guy was just being extremely cranky and grumpy. And basically got up to him, shut up, completely, like, that dude was, like, completely wasted. And I was like, okay, you know, I don't know these guys, but I don't want anyone to, like, start hitting each other. And I mean, the old guy was, like, 80 years old. Probably if you deck him once, he just falls over. So I was like, okay, I have my headphones on. I just, like, oh, I have to go through here, and, like, basically just stood in between them. Which, I mean, luckily a fight didn't break out, really. The drunkard tried to hit the old guy with a bag, but the bag broke, and he tried to hit it around me. There was nothing hard in there, so nothing really happened. But yeah, I basically yesterday I almost got in a fight because of a drunkard and a grumpy old man, because they wouldn't stop, like, mocking each other. It's really insane.
Why are you... Do you want to dance with me?
Go and
It
fuck
reminded me of
yourself.
this guy.
Why won't anyone dance with me?
Because I want to fuck you.
How do you keep your pants up when you're performing? It's incredible.
Belt.
The invention of the year, the belt.
No off-topic questions. Because I don't want to. No, no, permission denied. That's an off-topic questions. Next, you have been stopped.
What are those?
Oh, that's old.
my crock.
Air horn prank.
Did someone say something?
Oh, wimbo it, oh, wimbo it, oh,
Wimbo it, oh, wimbo it.
oh, wimbo it, oh, wimbo it.
Who doing the shit? I'm washing me in my clothes.
made this chicken? Who made this chicken? This is the best chicken I ever had.
I love all people say that great.
What's it like to be a sex?
What the hell are you doing?
I am doing my eyebrows.
That's a big ass mirror.
I have big ass eyebrows.
Okay, Grandma. Strike.
Who am I? Let's go to the beach. Beach. Ninky Minjai.
Well,
That gives you lemons.
Is it real?
I know way too many of those.
Can't do this on concrete.
Oh, look at us. We're in love and happy and not dead inside. Get fucked, both of you.
Oh boy.
Chicken!
Oh god. Hysteria to my soul.
Later, Mom. What's up? Me and my boys going to see Uncle Cracker. Give him that back, Jordan. Do you want to go see Uncle Cracker now?
Not to be racist or anything, but Asian people.
Well, hello.
Can't even do that.
Can I pet the kitty? Where's you going? Kitty, come back here, Mr. Kitty. Kitty, where you going?
Who's that? Willie, that was for Christmas.
No, it's for now.
You guys say Colorado.
I'm a giraffe.
Everything's
Get this damn ass bitch animal! Fuck me!
Who's the hottest?
God
Uber
damn
driver
it!
you've ever
What
had?
did I do?
I never went to Ovo Jabber.
Why is everybody afraid of love?
And just remember,
True,
no
why?
one will ever be able to hate you more than you already hate yourself.
Oof.
Judy, 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 booty,
Whoa.
banana, fana,
Those are moves.
3-3. That went, and since then.
Oh my dude, you just got pranked.
What are those?
They're called my sandals.
I'll help Pennywise.
Larry, is that a police? I'm calling the weed.
420, what you smoking?
What? In-house gift. He's way too high for this. I would run too.
This shit, I'm out.
Now the last one. The last one was a vibe. The last one was absolutely a vibe.
Look at this graph.
So basically, what I was thinking of was, oh fuck, I can't
believe
believe you've done this.
I play in a band. That's fun.
That's basically the same Nante.
Stop! I could have dropped my croissant.
It's basically the same as we had those.
Hi,
Yeah.
I'm Renata Bliss, and I'm your freestyle dance
Okay, one
teacher.
more time. This one. That's real style. That's real style.
Trucker, dude. That hurt like a butt cheek on a stick.
Watch your
I would say this too.
Road work ahead.
Yeah, okay, we had most of them. Fortunately. But I got something more in petto. So we watched a few of those last time from Punky Doodles. Very, very funny animation channel. Criminally underrated, as I think personally. And we're gonna watch a few of those shorts. Unfortunately, this. I hope that they weren't that similar, but still stuff prepared. We're gonna watch a few of those.
I don't want to be strong like man who look pretty. I want to be strong like bitch that fight bears in the forest. I don't want to.
That's actually
Pray for me. Nothing's wrong. I just want more power.
Like this would actually be like an awesome plot for like an for like a campaign or something, for don't know, like an evil villain's plan, and his own goal is just to give me more, I want more. Okay. Okay, so now there are just okay, there are just advertisements in between. It doesn't really okay, you have to find something else. Schlatt. No.
I was thinking I'd do some magic. You? Magic Charles. It says talent show.
Stop. Zach, stop. You're gonna get in trouble.
Zach.
It's not funny. It's not funny, okay?
Even the babies are one of the most dangerous animals in the world, so I built this cage to keep them secure so there's no possible... Oh my God.
And then I saw her face. Wilson, where are you? Oh my God.
Netflix and Pop-Tarts. Netflix and Pop-Tarts. Yeah, Netflix and Pop-Tarts.
I never had Pop-Tarts. Never had them. I think they don't sell them really where I live.
Any questions?
Yes. Are you going to finish that croissant?
Ah, your favorite meme panda.
Let me assure you that...
On the roof!
Hi, welcome to Chile.
Yeah!
Bring the beat in. Anything for you, Beyonce?
Oh no! And I realized I've left the wontons in.
Listen! You should.
Jello, mole, hello.
How do you keep your pants up when you're performing? It's incredible.
Belt.
Belt.
Here at Joe's Tetris, y'all know what you want to eat yet? How about some Vegeta Blade Quesadillas? Anybody want some chicken fajitas? How about that filet mignon? Pronouncing things incorrectly. Take one, dude.
Yeah, I mean, really, what's up with some English words?
Booty quay. Fice-a-cow the rapey. Pinocchio. I don't even know how to say that normally. Pronouncing things incorrectly. Cavassier Pharmaqua. Cam, P-Bells. Banut Mumma Nums. Monkey Necks. Beaver Age. Ruchets and Combis. Rosasa Papa. Pronouncing things incorrectly. Coupeyes. Nut Ilie. Parmesan Chessy. Escape. Hello. It's...
Nice one.
I think I know more about American Girl than you do.
You never listen to any American Girl.
It's for the A.
German, you okay?
Why? 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 Why?
I say Colorado.
Hey, I want to be famous.
It was just like...
Darkness, my old friend.
This is pure beauty. The voice of an angel. Panda, is that you? What?
Pop it. Twist it. Pull it.
Excuse me, sir. Has there ever been a robbery at this establishment?
Not that I know of. I don't know.
Is to be able to get up that high without the...
The prophecy is true.
Yeah, I used to be able to Then I got puberty.
John Cena!
I mean, what's the highest voice I can get still? Wait, let me try. No. Probably you can learn it again if you try hard enough, but I can't. Hello!
Let's take a picture.
That's not a picture.
It depends on the ranking. Yeah, it's also a bit different for me from day to day. Oh, crazy low. I can hit the lower tones better than the higher ones. Always had more of an... I've always been more attuned to them. But I wish I would still be able to go deeper. Like a real bass voice. But I can.
Down.
Well, hello, Mr. Kitty. Can I pet the kitty? Where's you going? Kitty, come
Kitty,
back.
kitty, kitty.
Kitty, where you going?
Wow, that lawnmower was going places. If I pull up my dragon voice in D&D, that's deep. Deep. I could do deeper voices better at one point. I really have to get used to it again. But not crazy deep. Yeah, I mean, there are those like really amazing... as I said, I do like music very much, even though I can't sing. And if I hear those like crazy bass type of voices, oh my god, I wish I could do that.
Love Starbucks.
It's amazing. I love caffeine.
It's the most beautiful thing I've ever seen in my life. It's a banana next to a banana. It's the most beautiful thing I've ever seen.
Oh, this was
in my
also
life.
like a home.
It's watermelon. Inside a watermelon.
Yeah.
Sometimes the world looks perfect. Nothing to read.
Hey, that's honey. Phil's on TV.
Honey, you've got a big storm coming.
What will you learn? That your actions have consequences.
I would vote for them.
What are those?
They are my Crocs.
Hey, what y'all get for number 12?
I got 18. I got 9.5. I got Abraham Lincoln. For some reason, I don't.
Well, welcome to the hood.
Happy birthday, Raven! Okay, soon.
Wake me up inside. I can't wake up, wake me up inside. Save me.
I spelled
Goofy
lipstick
cover.
in your Valentino bag.
Oh, you spilled lipstick in my Valentino bag.
Oh, hi. Thanks for checking in. I'm still a piece of garbage.
I watched the those already.
That was majestic.
Ah, it was majestic.
You want to take a nap?
I'm taking a nap here.
Okay, take a nap right there then.
Good night.
You're a wizard, Harry.
I'm a what?
A wizard.
Da 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 da.
Really can't stay, baby. It's cold outside. I've got to go away, baby. It's cold.
One in the audience? My buddy Brandon. Hi, bud. How are you? There he is.
How do you know what's good for me? That's my opinion!
Cause
LeBron James. LeBron James.
Merry Christmas,
LeBron
joke.
James. LeBron James. LeBron James.
Oh, sorry, I fell asleep while I was waiting on you to make me a sandwich.
Go back to sleep and starve.
True. Oh my god, I do that.
I do that.
Ah. Me on Christmas, no joke. I assume you mean this "Baby It's Cold Outside" song, and I get it. Wow, that's a disrespect.
I'm just cooking pizza.
If your name is Junior and you're really handsome, come on, raise your hand.
Skin. I nurture my skin.
Oh, das Shaq Remix.
No, tell her.
Ja! I respect it. That dab.
My skin. You just drop in and just smack the lip. Drop down. Snap.
Ooh, this is my jam. This is my. Turn that song off. This is my jam.
Oh, guck auf
Hi,
zum
I'm
Champ.
Renata Bliss, and I'm your freestyle dance teacher.
Why? Why? Why?
Why?
Why?
Why?
Gavin, I love you.
Oh God, she looks like a young Pennywise.
Stop! I could have dropped my croissant.
There's so many repeating ones.
Pay for that taco.
Hey, yo, you know this. Boy, he's got his free taco.
Generally did. Yeah. Poop burner.
I am old.
How old are you?
16. And my grandmother.
No off-topic
Your
questions,
old
because I don't
grandmother,
want
oh
to.
God.
No, no.
I don't know.
That's an off-topic question.
No.
Next, you have been stopped.
Listen, Trish, I already told you I can't make it. I got soccer practice this morning and I got big room at 7. Oh, Mason, I swear to God. Who am I?
Sneak attack! Oh my God! Hello, Rock. Hi, how you doing?
Nicki Minaj.
Who's the hottest Uber driver you've ever had?
I never went to Uber driver. Did you do your homework? Did you do your homework? Watch your mouth!
Brother.
Did you do your homework?
Aber wir haben hiding the shadows for a while. Ah!
People say I can't do what I love without college.
I hope you.
I don't need no
I hope
degree to
your
be a
hiding in the
clothes
shadows was very comfortable for you.
If there was a child right in front of you.
If I had a penny for every time I wasn't cool, I'd have no pennies.
Oh my God.
I thought you wanted to do that.
You were wrong. Kylie Jenner to the foyer. I have a little surprise for you.
Is that a chicken? My friends and I love this dance called the Nene, and so whenever we hit it, it gets pretty crazy.
I want to see my little boy. Here he comes. I want to see my little boy.
Very afraid of love.
I wasn't really able to chat, but I didn't want to interrupt with a lurk. Lol.
Is anyone else kind of hot? It's definitely a little toasty in here. This might be a good time to open up some windows.
You should start running.
For president, because I'd support you no matter what. Lincoln.
I'm going out. With who? My disciples? Do I know these disciples? Shut up, Mom. Just be home before Last Supper. Okay, what should the caption be? Sometimes the best caption is no caption at all. But like, put that as the caption. Genius.
How much money would you give me to fall asleep right now? I don't know, like $1 billion?
I woke up the next morning a billionaire.
Hey Mom, hey Dad, want to see me do some ventriloquism?
Easy money.
Yeah, sure, why not? Alright then, here we go.
Marlene, your speech was so good. Oh, but like, I didn't even try. It was just improv and.
Oh my God, why can't you just take the freaking compliment?
Supper gives you all your daily nutrients, like 0 grams of trans fat, and oh my God, cholesterol.
Hey mailman, what do you got? Just this letter!
Jonathan, I don't love you anymore.
Brandon, ask me what kind of tree I have. No. Brandon, ask me what kind of tree I have. No. Just, Brandon, ask me
My
what kind
brain
of tree.
slowly smoothing out.
Roses are red.
Okay, yeah. I have one last meme video. It's a very old one. It's 17 years ago. So whoever watched this, like me, when it came out, or close to when it came out. Sorry for. I mean, I'm sure Panda will definitely know it because he's old. Not Charlie the Unicorn. I think it's not that. Is Charlie the Unicorn actually? Wait, I need to check. Don't you get him out, Charlie? Is it also 17 years old? Sure, it's also 17 years old. Going to Candy Mountain, Charlie. What do I remember? Old stuff. No, I was not talking about Charlie the Unicorn. I was talking about... But what old stuff? Only 17, damn. This is a discussion I had recently with someone about this whole brain rot thing that's so prevalent right now. And I was arguing back in the ye old days of the stone age of the memes, you could say, or well, the Wild West of the memes more. We also had brain rot. They said no, we never did like this. We never had brain rot like this. But I beg to differ. Who knows this video? This still sits rent-free in my head. That's the good stuff, I'll tell you. Yeah, I saw the movie too before it started. My humor is so broken. You don't know that one, Rock. Madness. Madness. This is... Excuse me. This is peak brain rot of the early internet. We always were like this. We just got old and think we were never like this because we forgot. We are still like this. We always were like this. That's... No one can escape it. It's historical at this point. So, but for now, I say we make a short break for now. Because I need to refill my drinks. Good old days, yeah, what a good old days. We make a short little break, a few minutes. Get some drinks. Afterwards, we actually go back to a bit more, well, not serious, a bit more telltale stuff. I still have one more video, and I want to read a few stories of the books I recently got that are about different tales of mythology. No, we're not watching Teletubbies. We're not watching Teletubbies. Stop it. I have actual tales here with me. God no. Say we're all in agreement we don't watch Teletubbies here. No, Panda don't know. I gotta ban you, Panda, if you keep mentioning them. You be the first non-bot that I ban. No, but seriously, we gotta do a short break, and then we watch, and you snake it down. Jeez. No, but I actually I want to do something funny and I want to do something more tale-telly. I can absolutely imagine that, Panda. So we're gonna do a short stream, a short break. You can continue talking about Teletubbies in the chat if you want to. Afterwards, we're gonna do a bit more tale-telly stuff. I can either offer you, by the way, Japanese, Celtic, or Nordic tales, whatever you desire. I can like read one of each of them. So, like 3 books in front of me. Ballarimo. I'll see you after the break. Just a couple of minutes. If you want to get something to drink and something to snack on, and don't get cursed by Panda's Teletubby talk. So, and we are back. Hello, hello. Oh god, is Panda still talking about the Teletubbies? Oh no. I honestly want to do something a bit more relaxing right now, not talk about Teletubbies. I do it for the meme. Yeah, sure. I would say the same. But seriously, we will switch over to reading a few tales now. It's actually something I really wanted to do for quite some time, but I didn't have any books here that are in English to like tell proper tales. Because I'm gonna be completely honest with you, I cannot be... I can't like translate on the spot from German to English. I'm not that good. It would be a stumbling mess more than it usually is because I'm not really used to reading in English. It's reading time now, yes. I'm gonna change the category. And I do hope I don't mess up too badly with... You read better than I do. I mean, I hope I do. I still stumble over a few words. So, or sometimes I talk faster than I read. So basically, I read faster than my eyes can keep up with. Or then I can like process the words. So I have to purposefully be a bit slower when reading. But the music might be a bit too distracting. So, something like this. Gonna steal this idea a bit from Hina with the campfire background, because I think it's really cozy. At some point I really have to get like a background for like campfire reading, and it's probably quite cool. Eventually. Beef, yeah. Unfortunately, I don't have an overlay yet with where I hold a book, but it's actually in the works, or not in the works, in the planning phase right now. And I will definitely eventually get something like this. I have a few plans with this, but it would probably not be the only time where I read a bit. I hope it's not too immersion breaking for this stream. I will look into that. I can spawn, I can get something up for this for the next stream, but no promises. I have 3 different types of tales to choose from. We have either Nordic, Celtic, or Japanese tales. If any of you has a preference, willing to choose based on that. I also can offer, if you're not particularly interested in a tale from a specific culture, I also have an encyclopedia, better, cannot say this word, for example, of different magical beasts and mythological beasts. This is also something I can walk through, although I think this might be better for like my shorts, where I can actually like illustrate it a bit, little pictures. So if not, I will just choose one book at random. I think I'm gonna start, since we encyclopedia helping. Yeah, it's just like encyclopedia. I can roll on any of them. Since we have a real Viking VTuber here today, maybe we start with a Nordic tale. Seems kind of fitting. It's Nordic tales, folk tales from Norway, Sweden, Finland, Iceland, and Denmark. So yeah, and I assume Dane, you're a Dane, so it might be quite fitting. We have a true Dane here as well. Okay, so actually, I figured as much. I wasn't 100% sure. I will just go chronological for the book though. And oh, I just noticed tales are actually. I haven't read those books yet, so I don't know those tales yet. I gotta be honest here. But I think this might even be more fun for me. I don't know the tales yet myself. Or if I haven't read them directly as they're written here. Eventually I will probably read a few of them beforehand at one point and reread them on stream. I don't know yet. We'll see. But this is like my first time reading it, and I just noticed there's a little notation from which country this tale is originated from. First tale is from Finland, and it is The Forest Bride, the story of little mouse who was a princess. There was once a farmer who had 3 sons. One day, when the boys were grown to manhood, he said to them, "My sons, it is high time that you were all married. Tomorrow, I wish you go out to search for brides." "But where shall we go?" the oldest son asked. "I have thought of that too," father said. "To each of you, chop down a tree, and then take the direction in which the fallen tree points. I'm sure that each of you, if you go far enough that direction, will find a suitable bride." So the next morning, the 3 sons chopped down trees. The oldest son's tree fell pointing north. "That suits me," he said, for he knew that to the north lay a farm where a pretty girl lived. The tree of the second son, when it fell, pointed south. "That suits me," the second son declared, thinking of a girl that he had often danced with, who lived to the south. The youngest son's tree, the youngest son's name, Waco, fell, pointed straight forest. "Ha ha," the oldest brothers laughed. "Waco, you have to go courting one of the wolf girls or one of the foxes." They meant by this only animals, forest. They thought were making a good joke at Vaiko's expense. But Vaiko said he was perfectly willing to take his chances and go where the tree pointed. The older brothers went gaily off and presented their suits to farmers. Whose daughters they admired. Waco too started off with brave front, but after he had gone some distance in the forest, his courage began to ebb. "How can I find a bride?" he asked himself, "in a place where there are no human creatures at all?" Just then, he came to a little hut. He pushed open the door and went in. It was empty. To be sure, there was a little mouse sitting on the table, daintily combing her whiskers. But a mouse, of course, doesn't count. "There's nobody here," Vaiko said loud. The little mouse paused in her toilet, turning towards him, said reproachfully, Why, Vaiko? I'm here. You don't count. You're only a mouse. Of course I count, the little mouse declared. But tell me, what were you hoping to find? I was hoping to find a sweetheart. The little mouse questioned him further, and Vaiko told her the story of his brothers and the trees. You two older ones are finding sweethearts easily enough, Vaiko said, but I don't see how I can off here in the forest. And it will shame me to have to go home and confess that I alone have failed. See here, Vaiko, the little mouse said. Why don't you take me for your sweetheart? Vaiko laughed. You're only a mouse. Whoever heard of a man having a mouse for a sweetheart? The mouse shook her little head solemnly. Take my word for it, Vaiko. You could do much worse than have me for a sweetheart. Even if I am only a mouse, I can love you and can be true to you. She was a dear, dainty little mouse, and she sat looking up. She sat looking up at Vaiko with her little paws for her chin, and her bright little eyes sparkling. Vaiko liked her more and more. Then she sang Vaiko a pretty little song. The song cheered him so much that he forgot his disappointment at not finding a human sweetheart. And as he left her to go home, he said, Very well, little mouse, I'll take you, my sweetheart. At that, the mouse made a little squeak, delight, and she told him that she'd be true to him and wait for him, no matter how long he was in returning. Well, the older brothers, when they got home, boasted loudly about their sweetheart. Mine, said the oldest, has the rosiest, reddest cheeks you ever saw. And mine, the second one announced, has long, yellow hair. Vaiko said nothing. What's the matter, Vaiko? The older brothers asked him, laughing. Has your sweetheart pretty pointed ears? Or sharp white teeth? You see, they were still having their little joke about foxes and wolves. You needn't laugh, Vaiko said. I found a sweetheart. She's a gentle, dainty little thing, gowned over in velvet. Gowned in velvet, echoed the oldest brother, Brown. Just like a princess, the second brother sneered. Yes, Vaiko repeated. Gowned in velvet like a princess. And when she sits up and sings for me, I'm perfectly happy. Gruntled the older brothers. Not at all, least that Vaiko should have so grand a sweetheart. Well, the old farmer, said the old farmer after a few days. Now, I should like to know what those sweethearts of yours are capable to do. Have them each bake me a loaf of bread, so that I can see whether they are good housewives. Mine will be able to bake bread, I'm sure of that, the oldest brother declared boastfully. So will mine, said the second. Vaiko was silent. What about the princess? They said with a laugh. You think the princess can bake bread? I don't know, Vaiko answered truthfully. I'll have to ask her. Of course, he had no reason for supposing that a little mouse could bake bread. And by the time he reached the hut in the forest, he was feeling sad discouraged. When he pushed open the door, he found the little mouse, as before, seated on the table, daintily combing her whiskers. At the sight of Vico, she danced with delight. "I'm so glad to see you," she squeaked. "I know you would come back." Then she noticed that he was silent and asked him what was the matter. Vico told her, "My father wants each of our sweethearts to bake him a loaf of bread. If I come home without a loaf, my brothers will laugh at me." "You won't have to go home without a loaf," the little mouse said. "I can bake bread." Vico was much surprised at this. "I never heard of a mouse that could bake bread." "Well, I can," the little mouse insisted. With that, she began ringing a small silver bell. Tingle, tingle, tingle. Instantly, there was a sound of hurrying footsteps, tiny, scratchy footsteps, and hundreds of mice came running into the hut. The little princess mouse, sitting up very straight and dignified, said to them, "Each of you, go fetch me a grain of the finest wheat." All the mice scampered quickly away and soon returned, one by one, each carrying a grain of the finest wheat. After that, it was no trick at all for the princess mouse to bake a beautiful loaf of wheaten bread. The next day, the three brothers presented their father with the loaves of the sweetheart baking. The oldest one had a loaf of rye bread. "Very good," said the farmer. "For hard-working people like us, rye bread is good." The loaf of the second son was made of barley. "Barley is also good," the farmer said. But when Vico presented his loaf of beautiful wheaten bread, his father cried out, "What? White bread? Ah, Vico, now must have a sweetheart of wealth." "Of course," the older brother sneered. "Didn't he tell us he was a princess?" "Say, Vico, when a princess wants fine white flour, how does she get it?" Vico answered simply. "She rings a little silver bell, and when her servants come, she tells them to bring her grains of the finest wheat." At this, the older brothers nearly exploded envy until their father had to reprove them. There, he said. "Don't grudge the boy his good luck. Each girl has baked a loaf she knows how to make, and each in her own way will probably make a good wife. But before you bring them home to me, I want one further test of their skill in housewifery. Let them send me a sample of their weaving." The older brothers were delighted at this, but they knew that their sweethearts were skillful weavers. "We'll see how her ladyship fares this time," they said, sure in their hearts that Vico's sweetheart, whoever she was, would not put them to shame with her weaving. Vico, too, had serious doubts of the little mouse's ability at the loom. "Whoever heard of a mouse that could weave?" he said to himself as he pushed open the door to the forest hut. "Oh, there you are at last," the little mouse squeaked joyfully. She reached out her little paws in welcome, and then, in her excitement, she began dancing about the table. "Are you really glad to see me, little mouse?" I said. "Indeed I am," the mouse declared. "Am I not your sweetheart? I've been waiting for you, and waiting, just wishing that you would return. Does your father want something more this time? Yes, and it's something I'm afraid you can't give me, little mouse. Perhaps I can. Tell me what it is. It's a sample of your weaving. I don't believe you can weave. I never heard of a mouse that could weave. Good too, said the mouse. Of course I can weave. It would be a strange thing if Vaiko's sweetheart couldn't weave. She rang the little bell. Tingle, tingle, tingle. And instantly there was a faint scratch, scratch. 100 little feet of mice came running in, coming in, running in from all directions, and sat up on their haunches, waiting for the princess' order. Go, each of you, she said, and get me a fiber of flax, the finest there is. The mice went scurrying off, and soon they began returning, one by one, each bringing a fiber of flax. When they had spun the flax and cradled it, the little mouse wove a beautiful piece of fine linen. It was so sheer that she was able, when she folded it, put it into an empty nutshell. Here, Vaiko, she said. Here is the little box. Here in this little box is a sampling of my weaving. I hope your father will like it. Vaiko, when he got home, felt almost embarrassed, for he was sure that his sweetheart's weaving would shame his brothers. So, at first, he kept the nutshell hidden in his pocket. The sweetheart of the oldest brother had sent a sample of her weaving, a square of coarse cotton. Not very fine, the farmer said, but good enough. Second brother's sample was a square of cotton and linen mixed. A little better, the farmer said, nodding his head. Then he turned to Vaiko. And you, Vaiko, has your sweetheart not given you a sample of her weaving? Vaiko handed his father a nutshell, at sight of which his brothers burst out laughing. Ha ha ha, they laughed. Vaiko's sweetheart gives him a nut when he asks for a sample of weaving. But the laughter died as the farmer opened the nutshell and began shaking out a great web of finest linen. Why, Vaiko, my boy, he cried. However did your sweetheart get threads for this fine web? Vaiko answered modestly. She rang a little silver bell and ordered her servants to bring her the fibers of finest flax. They did so, and after that, they had spun the flax and cradled it. My sweetheart wove the web you see. Wonderful, gasped the farmer. I've never known such a weaver. The other girls will be all right for farmers' wives, but Vaiko's sweetheart might be a princess. Well, concluded the farmer, it's time that you all brought your sweethearts home. I want to see them with my own eyes. Suppose you bring them tomorrow. She's a good little mouse, and I'm very fond of her, Vaiko thought to himself, as he went out to the forest. But my brothers will certainly laugh when they find out she is only a mouse. Well, I don't care if they do laugh. She's been a good little sweetheart to me, and I'm not going to be ashamed of her. So, when he got to the hut, he told the little mouse at once. His father wanted to see her. The little mouse was excited. I must go in proper style, she said. He rang the little bell and ordered a coach and 5. Coach. The coach, when it came, turned out to be an empty nutshell, and the 5 prancing steeds that were drawing it were 5 black mice. The little mouse seated. Stage a bit. The little mouse seated herself in the coach. The coachman's mouse. Sorry for the little interruption. He's freaking out all the time while I was reading. Or if that's the case, by the way. Oh, and hello Heidi. I don't know if you're still here, but hello. Nice of you to stop by. Where was I? The little mouse seated herself in the coach. The coachman mouse on the box in front of her, and a footman mouse on the box behind her. Oh, how my brothers will laugh, thought Vaiko. But he didn't laugh. He walked beside the coach and told the little mouse not to be frightened, that he would take good care of her. His father, he told her, was a gentle old man and would be very kind to her. When they left for the forest, they came to a river, which was spanned by a footbridge. Just as Vaiko and the nutshell coach had reached the middle of the bridge, the man met them coming from the opposite direction. "Mercy me!" the man exclaimed, as he caught the sight of the strange little coach that was rolling along beside Vaiko. "What's that?" He stooped down and looked. Then, with a loud laugh, he pointed out his foot and pushed the coach, the little mouse, the servants, and the 5 prancing steeds all down the bridge into the water below. "What have you done? What have you done?" Vaiko cried. "They drowned my poor little sweetheart." "You have drowned my poor little sweetheart." The man, thinking Vaiko was crazy, hurried away. Vaiko, with tears in his eyes, looked down into the water. "You poor little mouse," he said. "How sorry I am that you are drowned. You were a faithful, loving sweetheart, and now that you are gone, I know how much I loved you." As he spoke, he saw a beautiful coach of gold, drawn by 5 glossy horses, go up the far banks of the river. The coachman, in gold laced, held the reins, and the footman, in pointed cap, sat stiffly behind. The most beautiful girl in the world was seated in the coach. The skin was red as a berry and as white as snow. Her long golden hair gleamed with jewels, and she was dressed in a pearly velvet. She beckoned to Vaiko, and when he came closer, she said, "Won't you come sit beside me?" Me? Vaiko stammered, too dazed to think. The beautiful creature smiled. "You were not ashamed to have me for a sweetheart when I was a mouse," she said. "And surely now that I am a princess again, you won't desert me." "A mouse?" Vaiko gasped. "Were you the little mouse?" The princess nodded. "Yes, I was the little mouse, under an evil enchantment which could never have been broken if you had not taken me for a sweetheart, and if another human being had not drowned me. Now the enchantment is broken forever. So come, we will go to your father, and after he has given us his blessing, we will get married and go home to my kingdom. And that's exactly what they did. They drove at once to the farmer's house. And when Vaiko's father and his brothers and his brother's sweethearts saw the prince's coach stopping at their gate, they all came out bowing and scraping to see what such grand folk would want of them. Father, Vaiko cried, don't you know me? The father stopped bowing long enough to look up. Why, bless my soul, he cried. It's our Vaiko. Yes, father, I'm Vaiko, and this is the princess that I'm going to marry. A princess, did you say, Vaiko? Mercy me, where did my boy find a princess? Out in the forest, where my tree pointed. Well, 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 the farmer said. Where your tree pointed, I've always heard it was a good way to find a bride. The older brothers shook their heads gloomily and muttered, just our luck. If only our trees had pointed to the forest, we too would have found princesses instead of plain country wenches. But they were wrong. It wasn't because his tree pointed to the forest that Vaiko got the princess. It was because he was simple and good, that he was kind into a little mouse. Well, after they had gotten the farmer's blessings, they rode home to the prince's kingdom and were married. And they were happy. They were as happy and they were happy as they should have been, for they were good and true to each other. They loved each other dearly. It was a nice little story. Nice little tale. It's from Norway. The tale was called... I can find it again. The Forest Bride. Story of a little mouse who was a... Really sorry if I was a bit distracted sometimes, because I always saw in the corner of my eyes that my eyes blinked heavily. It was very distracting to me, and probably to you too if you watch this. Nonetheless. I don't know why my... Let me just check real quick. When I move my eyes, I think. Read the lines on the... I mean, I can just do it like this, but then I can't... Need to think of something. A second. Ugh. Oh. 1 second. I have to improvise a bit. Maybe more like this. I've never read on stream before, so it's a bit scuffy. I apologize for that. Maybe this zoomed a bit. Probably be better. Yeah, was the first story. Definitely have to think of a better setup for the next reading stream. That much I know. Was the story of the... I was thinking that we might read one story from each book, so we have like a bit of every culture. Nordic tale. And because it's just a book lying on top of it, next up we're going to read a Japanese tale. Tales of Japan, traditional stories of monsters and magic. As I said before, I haven't read these stories yet myself, so it's all a bit new to me too. I don't know if you Out. Let me just drink something real quick. I hope this is not a bit much eye twitching right now. The dream of Akinuke. The district called Kochi used to live Goshi, Yata, Here I must tell you, Japanese. Okay, that's footnote. Yeah, let's start from the beginning. In the district called Yamato, there used to live a Goshi, Yata, Akinu's garden, great, ancient, which he was wont to rest poultry day. On a very warm afternoon, he was sitting under this tree with two of his fellow Goshi, chatting and drinking wine. Felt all of a sudden so drowsy that he begged friends to excuse him taking a nap. As he lay down at the foot of the tree, crammed his dream, he thought he was lying there in the garden. He saw a procession, like the train of a great daimyo, describing a hill nearby. That God looked up to look at it. A very grand procession proved to be more imposing anything the kind which he had, and it was very advancing. What's dwelling? It was advancing too. He observed the van, the number of young. He observed in the van it a number of young men richly apparelled, who were drawing a great lacquered lace palace carriage, or Goshi Guruma, hung with bright blue silk. The procession arrived within a short distance of the house it held, and a richly dressed man, evidently a person of rank, advanced from it, approached Akiusuke, bowed to him profoundly, and then said, "Honored sir, you see before you a vassal of the Koku of Tokyo. My master, the king, commands me to greet you in his august name, and to place myself wholly at your disposal. He also bids me inform you that he augustly desires your presence. Be therefore pleased immensely to enter his honorable carriage, which he has sent for your convenience." Okay, maybe be written a bit weird. I guess I have to look for it again. Sorry about like cut this short, but it's actually a bit weird to read because it has a lot of breaks in between them. actually go over to like a Celtic tale. Because this all reads more like an informative thing. I don't read over it, but it's actually a bit difficult to read on stream if I never read it before. I will check it out and get to it. So I guess we go over to the Celtic tale. It's from the same author as the Nordic Tales one. This is Celtic Tales, Fairy Tales and Stories of Enhancement from Ireland, Scotland, Brittany and Wales. Hello Plague Maker, welcome. Today is a bit of a more calmer stream, at least now it is. Before we had quite a lot of fun, a few memes. But right now we are... Today's just reading. Wales? Yeah, Wales. Oh no, is there like another way to say this in English? I thought it was just pronounced Wales. So if there's like another pronunciation of it, please let me know. But as far as I'm aware, it's just Wales. Bit improvised setup here right now, so it's like my tracking doesn't. Okay, the first tale of the Celtic Tales book, The Clumsy Beauty and Her Aunts from Ireland. King of Wales, the forgotten piece of the Northern Isles. Forgotten piece of the Northern Isles. I'm not really sure what you mean by that. I will be now reading the next tale. Ask for information during the reading, unless there's like something very urgent. Will probably not interrupt read chat, so I do apologize for that. That's just like a setting or anything. I will read it afterwards. So, first tale of the book for the Celtic mythology. It's a tale from Ireland, and it's called Clumsy Beauty and Her Aunt. There was once a poor widow with a daughter named Ursula, who was as beautiful as a spring day, but as clumsy as could be. The poor mother was most industrious person in the town, and was particularly good hand at the spinning wheel. It was the greatest wish for her daughter that her daughter should be as handy as her, so that she would find a good husband. Any work Ursula touched seemed to tangle or break. One morning, things were very bad for Ursula. Ursula had tried her hand, spinning once again, and once again had tangled. Her mother has given her a good scolding. When who would be riding all far but the king? Dear, oh dear, good woman, he said, you must have very bad child. Make you scold so sure, it can't be this handsome girl who's vexed. Now the widow knew the prince was in need of a wife. She quickly decided then. Oh yes, oh please, your majesty, not at all, she said. I was only checking her for working herself too much. Would your majesty believe it? She spins 3 pounds of flax, weaves it into linen the next, makes it all into shirts the day after. Gracious! Then she's the very lady that will catch my mother's eye, for herself is the greatest spinner in the kingdom. Will you fetch your daughter's bonnet, cloak, please, madam, and set her behind me on my horse? Why, my mother will be so delighted with her that perhaps she'll allow us to marry within the week. That is, of course, if the young lady herself is agreeable. Well, the woman bundled Ursula into her bonnet and cloak, sent her off to the prince, before the girl could even protest. But as they rode back to the castle together, the prince was solicitous, kind, that she almost forgot the fear of being found out. When they arrived at the castle, the queen came out to meet her son, and was almost struck dumb when she saw a young country girl sitting behind him. But when they dismounted, and she saw the girl's handsome face, heard about her incredible feats of spinning, her feelings changed quite quickly. Ursula trembled under the queen's gaze, but the prince whispered in her ear that if she didn't object to become his wife, she should strive to please his mother. And so she smiled bravely and made a wobbly curtsy. That evening they all dined together, and the prince and Ursula getting fonder and fonder. But the thought of spinning still set chills. And sure enough, after they had feasted, the queen led Ursula to a beautiful bedroom, pointed a heap of fine flags in the corner, said, "You may begin as soon as you like tomorrow morning, and I expect to see these 3 pounds of nice thread in after." Then she bid Ursula good night. The poor girl slept little that night, and when she was left alone the next morning, she began her spinning with a heavy heart. Though she had a nice mahogany wheel and the finest flax she'd ever seen, the thread seemed to break every time she touched it. One moment it was as fine as cobweb, and the next. At last she pushed her chair back, let her hands fall into her lap, burst out crying. Just then, a small old woman with surprisingly big feet appeared before her, as if out of nowhere, and said, "What ails you, you handsome girl?" "Oh," cried Ursula, "haven't I all the flax to spin before tomorrow morning? And I'll never be able to have even 5 yards of fine thread for this put together. And would you like to think it bad as the poor Colin Cashmore to your wedding, the young prince? If you promise to invite me, all 3 pounds of flax will be made into the finest thread while you are taking your sleep tonight." Ursula was overjoyed. "Indeed, you must be there and welcome, and I'll honor you all the days of your life." "Very well," said Colin Cashmore. "Stay in your room till bedtime, till tea time, and then tell the queen she may come in, Fred, as early as she likes." Ursula did as she said, and the old woman was good as her promise. The next morning, Ursula woke to find Fred finer and evener than the gut of a fly fisher. "What a brave girl," cried the queen. I'll get my own mahogany loom brought to you, but you needn't do anything more today. Work and rest. Work and rest, that's the motto. Tomorrow You'll weave all this thread, and who knows, may happen, he added with a smile. So Ursula spent another day with the prince. She was so happy in his company that she almost forgot the task. But the next morning, when she sat down in the queen's loom, she was even more frightened. Her trembling fingers couldn't even put the wrap, the gears, nor use the shuttle. She was sitting there, the greatest grief, when a little old lady, mightily white hips, appeared before her. She said she was colleague Cranmamore. She offered the same bargain as colleague Cashmore. Eagerly, Ursula accepted. Great was the queen's pleasure the next morning when Ursula showed her linen as fine and white as the finest paper. "What a darling girl," said the queen. "Take your case with ladies and gentlemen today. And if you have all this made into nice shirts tomorrow, you may present one of them to my son and be married to him out of my hand." Oh, how poor Ursula trembled the next day as she sat, scissors, needles, and thread in her hand. She was so near the prince now, and yet, maybe would be soon so far from him. But she waited patiently, till, a minute after noon, an old woman with a big red nose appeared before her. The woman introduced herself as Colin Shore Morua, and she's made the same offer as the two before. Ursula accepted with relief, and sure enough, when the queen paid her an early visit in the morning, there was dozens of fine shirts laying on the table. The wedding took place a few days later, and it was exceedingly grand. Ursula's mother was there, along with the rest, and the wedding dinner. The queen could talk nothing but the lovely shirts and how happy she and the bride would be after the honeymoon, when they would be spinning and weaving and sewing shirts without end. The bridegroom didn't much like the conversation. The bride liked it less. But before either could interject, a footman came up to the head of the table and said to the bride, "Your ladyship's aunt, Colleague Crushmore, bade me ask if she might come in." The bride blushed and wished she were 7 miles under the floor, but she nodded. The prince said, "Tell Miss Cashmore that any relation of my bride's will always be heartily welcome wherever she and I are." In came a woman with big feet, and she got the seat near the queen. But the queen, who didn't like interruptions, soon asked rather spiteful, "Dear madam, what's the reason your foot so big?" "Faith, your majesty," said Colleague Cashmore, "I was standing almost all my life at the spinning wheel. That's the reason." "I declare you, my darling," said the prince, horrified. "I declare to you, my darling," said the prince, horrified, "I'll never allow you to spend 1 hour at the same spinning wheel." A little later, a footman approached again, said, Your ladyship's aunt, Colleague Paramore, wishes to come in, if you have no objections." The prince and Ursula said that she was welcome, and she took her seat drank, keep elves aplenty to the company. But after a minute, the queen said, "May I ask, madam, why you are so wide halfway between your head and feet?" "That, your majesty, is owing sitting all my life at the loom," said Colic Paramore. "By my scepter," the prince, "my wife shall never sit there an hour." Finally, the footman approached again and said, "Your ladyship's aunt, Colic Morua, is asking leave to come the company." The bride and the bridegroom said he was welcome, and in came the old woman, settled herself at the table. "Madam," said the queen, "will you tell us, if you please, why your nose is so big and red?" "Rough, majesty. My head was bent over over the stitching all my life, and the blood the body ran to my nose," said Colic Morua. "My darling," said the prince in all seriousness to Ursula, "if I ever see a needle in your hand, I'll run 100 miles from you." And this way the clumsy Ursula was relieved of spinning work for the rest of her life, and she and the prince were happily married at last. And I guess there's another tale. Congratulations, Panda. Absolutely deserves. Congratulations on hitting affiliate. That was another tale. A lot of those tales seem to involve weaving, as I noticed. Not that this is particularly a bad thing, but it's kind of curious. Why? I mean, weaving was a big part in the past, but still, there's such a big impact. It's really impressive. I don't have any more tales for today, but there is something more I want to show you. Let me first readjust my setup again a bit. Really have to think of something. A bit more efficient in the future, but sucking a bit underground. Excuse me. So, yeah. But seriously, congratulations, Panda. It's really amazing. Actually getting quite close to her too, if I remember correctly. I'm just missing like 16 followers now, and then I'm also hit affiliate. And by my luck, I'll probably hit it during my moving. I mean, before I swap over to the last thing for today, actually one thing I have to mention in this regard, it's really, really amazing how, it may sound a bit corny, but it's really amazing how many of you guys stop by and everything by the streams. I really, really do appreciate it. I honestly thought when I started all the, oh yeah, if I'm like lucky or something, like 1 or 2 people would show up. So as I said, sounds a bit cheesy, but I really, really appreciate you all coming by to my streams, and hopefully I managed to entertain you a bit. Tell you a nice story. So, for the finishing touch for today, there's one last video I want to show. It's not like the ones before the for the break. It's a video about a tale teller and about a story that I really liked, really like very much, and it is quite touching. And it's also was also part of the reason why I decided to become a tale teller here. Because this video is kind of inspiring to me, and it's eventually like the tale teller I wanna be. At least on the level of storytelling would be like a little goal of mine. But with a few years off probably of that. I'm trying my best. We're gonna once again switch over one last time to React screen. I'm gonna keep the category for reading and writing right now because I think it's actually quite fitting, even though it's probably more count as just chatting. I'm sure nobody would mind if it's just a quick. One last video for today, then we're gonna end the stream. It's The Tale Teller, an animated short by Chaser. It's a very, very nice video. I love it extremely. It's probably one of my favorite videos out there. I don't know if I will talk a lot during this video, but I hope you enjoyed because that I myself like very, very much. Hope you enjoyed too. So, one last video for today, and then we're gonna end the stream.
Once upon a time, in the quiet of the night, in a city ages old, in a street with little light, in the shadows of the houses of the people of the city, walked a weary aged man who looked nothing but a pity. And though with every shaking step his bones would beg him tarry, he pushed on through bitter cold, notwithstanding he was old, for he knew he must behold that the tales would be told, that he'd gathered o'er the world, and that he alone now carried. So he rested in the square, only one thought in his head, not about his lack of bedding, or the food he wasn't fed. Oh no, for in the dead of night, the tale teller said, I wish to pass my stories on before the day I'm dead. No sooner than he whispered this, and sleep had overcome him. 'Twas as if he never rested, for the city square was bustling.
So amazing, I
Loud
don't
their
really want to
feet in
talk.
their faces, desperately rushing to go other places, cluttering, clambering, stomping and hammering. His heart beat in time with their paces. And while he was soaking the ambience in with a merry clap and a big wide grin, his glee was soon sequestered by a little angry jester. I am a jester of the king's court, but the respected assent me as naught. For they laugh at my face, at my height and disgrace me, till I get so furiously flushed and deliriously angry that they could be so inconsiderate, and now I'm completely distraught. The tale teller knew the hurt this little man was facing. They were outcasts in a world that could be callous and debasing. So they sat together waiting while the busy people passed. And the teller was reminded of a tale, and he flailed, quickly flicking to the picture of the sail, speaking fast. Let me tell you of the tale of the mouse upon the mast. So the jester sat with interest in the story being told, which described the little mouse in a ship upon the sea that was stricken by a storm and completely lost control. And the sailors of the ship could only struggle helplessly. So the little mouse then climbed upon the sail that was mangled, which the sailors couldn't reach for the fury of the storm. And he chewed away a rope until the canvas was untangled, and all the crew was saved by what that little mouse performed. Eyes wide, the jester realized, despite the spite he faced each day, his size was not to his demise, it was his prize, which made him say, I've had it wrong, and all along, the people laughed at my frustration. I forgot to use the jokes and tricks unique to my vocation. So the jester dashed away, and soon had formed a congregation. For the tricks he once neglected now had brought him adulation.
I need to pause. I cannot really talk over it because it pains me to do so. But yeah, that's really the thing I eventually aspire a bit, at least in the stream, that I can tell stories that way to actually, who knows, inspire people or maybe give them encouragement. Like, I'm really lucky with it. an animated short that really, really hold dear to my heart. It's part of the reason why I became a tellteller. Kind of felt like I would show it today.
'Twas bittersweet for the aged man to watch the distant dance, for he wished to give his precious book, but didn't get the chance. So he waited in the square in the hope a soul would linger, but as night set in, so did the fear he'd have no food for winter. One autumn day, he once again was woken from his sleeping. Beside him sat a widow with an empty basket, weeping. My children wait at home for me to bring them food for dinner, but I've nothing left to give them, and they're only getting thinner. Without a pause, the withered man produced his final loaf of bread, and turning round he held it out, then looked her in the eyes and said, There is a tale that is told in places far away from here, about a veiled princess who had beauty that could not appear. For she was cursed until one day a broken-hearted stranger saw and gave to her his life. The curse like ice on summer's day did thaw. The widow's eyes were glistening from tears she fought to keep away. In disbelief her grief was melted like the tale's curse that day. She gave her deepest thanks and briskly left to feed her hungry home, but hadn't noticed when the man had tried to give his precious tome.
Time to get LuxTaleor. I'm not in a hurry. Like, I'm perfectly content that people are just here and watching. Doesn't matter if I have 30 followers or 5 million. Too much, but you get the point. It doesn't matter to me really that much. I would of course very much appreciate, because it shows that, you know, I'm doing something right, I guess. But ultimately, it's just I do it because I like to do it. That's it for me. But still, as I said, of course I would be very happy if it happened.
Within the days that followed, winter threatened to arrive, and the tale-teller wondered if his tales would survive. And as he sat in solemn thought, he noticed in the lonely street a soldier who'd returned from war, who in his grief fell from his feet. A soldier who, on outward glance, looked strong, was badly hurt inside. He had returned a broken man, but in his arms his brother died. It isn't fair, he whimpered. He to me was just a boy. All we ever shared is gone, and with it, all my joy. The tale-teller sat beside the once great man, now broken, and all the day had passed where not a single word was spoken. And then the soldier told the aged man about his brother, and how, without him now, he would surely not recover. The tale-teller comforted the man returned from war, and shared his utmost precious tales never shared before. When evening came, the soldier's heart was peaceful as the setting sun. With gentle thanks he bid goodbye, and went his way when they were done. But with a start the aged man forgot his book to offer him, and then, that very moment, winter's bite began to settle in. Yes, the cold, that bitter cold his skin forgot, crushing and merciless, as if 1,000 arrows shot him, shaking him with icy chill. His freezing hands were holding still to stories that would not live on. Instead, the tale-teller's head had no thought left but want for bedding, warming hearth or bite of bread, without a shred of which he said, Before the morning, I'll be... Winter passed and spring arrived, as happened every year. The city square began to once again arouse with cheer. When on one day, and at one time, there happened something queer. A jester who had wandered in was searching with contented grin, and then a widow from the crowd who did the same and looked around to see a tall man play the hound, but in the end was nothing found. Each one among these people three emerged for but one reason: to thank the aged stranger and to pay him back in kind. But it dawned on them in sorrow he had not survived the season, for the fragments of his stories were but all that they could find. And their hearts were hurting deeply as they shed a silent tear, for they all had been reminded of the stories he had told, and although they never had received the book he tried to share, they took with them a tale
Always get chills.
that they each would dearly hold. Once upon a time, in the quiet of the night, in a city ages old, in a street with little light, walked a kindly tale-teller with a heart as good as gold, who made the world a better place through tales that he told.
I gotta say, if someone asks me what my favorite story is, probably this one. It shows that even if you're just someone to tell tales, even if it's just someone tells stories, you can help them. Got to get pictures. Sometimes a bit not very fitting. But yeah, this was just a little story. Sorry, I couldn't really put much input into this because I didn't really want to interrupt it. It's my absolute favorite story, and well, part of the reason, as I said, that I became a tale teller, because as cheesy as it sounds, I kind of just want to make people happy with the stories I tell or help them through stuff. Most of the time, probably more for laughter and stuff, because that's more my style. But even the more, how do I say this, the more somber ones can be quite impactful for can change someone for the better, or can help someone through a tough time. As I said, might got a bit cheesy there. But sometimes you have to. Sometimes you have to be cheesy. It's part of life. But I would say we wrap the stream up for today. I'm currently, wait, is it wrong? Bob here. I think that Heidi is currently streaming. But I'm not sure because, wait, the playing Spore or Cult of the Lamb? The title says Cult of the Lamb, the game says Spore. It's raid, yeah, it's raid time. Time to raid someone. We're gonna raid my good friend Heidi. Very, very, very adorable, well, not little cow, very, very adorable cow. And sound the horns, people. Yeah, let's sound the horns. We're gonna raid Heidi and say hi to her. And I wish you all a nice remaining day, night, evening, whatever time it is. And I hope I see you in the next stream on Thursday. I'm not completely sure what we're gonna do. Maybe I continue with whoa, that scared me a bit. Bye, Bolas. Thank you for the follow. Just at the end. Thank you, thank you. Well, yeah, we're gonna raid Heidi, and thank you all for coming by to the stream. And I'm glad. I hope I could entertain you a bit. Yeah. See you the next time. And now let's raid Heidi. Say hi to her from me, and see you all in the next stream on Thursday maybe, or whenever you have the time. Once again, a nice rest of the day. See you soon. Bye bye. Whoever wants, join the raid.